Hey everyone, Nat Daddy here with some more reviews. This time we're going to look at the new book reviews for the week of February 12th. I wish it was August. Yeah, let's jump into it. This is what I read digitally, and we'll follow up the second half of the video with books that are actually read in hand. It's been a while since we were able to do that, but it seems like everything is all good again, so first book we're going to look at is Absolute Batman number 5. Everyone's been loving this book from the beginning. This ends the first arc of the series so far. Really good. We got Batman facing off against Black Mask and his goons. We got a big battle. The city has turned against Batman because Black Mask has kind of like framed him for all the stuff that's going on in that. And it sets up for further arc. Great so far. Second, we have the Amazing Spider-Man. This is the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man storyline. Not really liking this one too much. This one isn't really helping. Peter has been challenged with fighting all the siblings, the offspring of the Juggernaut God, and he's defeated a few of them, and he's kind of give up the fight. So now the Juggernaut has shown up, the X-Men show up as well, and Peter's still not getting into this fight. We'll see what happens. It's for all the marbles, though. If he loses, humanity kind of dies. They have this person here, I believe it's called the Blight. Kind of an interesting character. And of all the stuff in the whole book, this one page here, I really enjoyed this Doctor Strange page. So everything else is still okay. If you've been following this, it's more of the same. All right. Second issue of the new Aquaman series. This is awesome so far. Really liking it. At the end of the last issue, Aquaman stepped through this Omega Gate here, looking for Atlantis that went missing. This is teleported him to this new land here, where all the water seems to be gone. So, kind of like a John Carter or Mars thing. He's being introduced to these creatures that live on the island there, and finding it out that, much like the green and the red, the blue, which is the water, connects to everything. So he's tasked with trying to find out not only what happened to Atlantis, but what has happened to the water of this place too, because it's probably the same. We have a Creep Show in Love. It's a one-shot from Image. It's a Creep Show inspired Valentine's Day issue. So happy Valentine's Day, everybody. We got 3 stories in here. Kind of fun. We got one about a serial killer guy that gets the tables turned on him. We have one about a guy who buys a love potion to only have that go horribly wrong. And the final story is about, again, another serial killer that takes his dates and, operates on them and turns them into loving little animal creatures, and keeps them in his own demented little zoo. So lots of Creep Show horror fun there in the vein of Valentine's Day. Continuing on with Valentine's Day from Mad Cave Studios, we have a Dick Tracy one-shot. You don't need to be following Dick Tracy, the ongoing series or that, or even be too familiar with it. This is just straight up a great, detective story, fun with these characters and that. So enjoying that as well too. So if you need to get some hard-boiled detective Valentine's Day awesomeness. For Marvel, we have the beginning of a new series, Eddie Brock Carnage. Eddie Brock has now bonded with the Carnage symbiote, and the two of them had to work together to survive during the last big Venom event, the Venom War. They both were dying, and they had to join together. So Eddie thinks he can control the Carnage symbiote, which we know all it wants to do is kill. So they're kind of working together to be kind of like Dexter, going around killing people that deserve it. So we'll see how it goes. Lots of blood and guts. Also from Marvel, we have the next issue of Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu. This is issue number 5. I've been saying it for a while now. Jed McKay's been killing it with the Moon Knight stuff for a couple of years now, like it seems. Here we pick up, we have Moon Knight. He's going to go fighting against this drug dealer guy named Achilles Fairchild. And he's flooded the streets with this new drug called glitter. And it's all being blamed on the vampires and on the Moon Knight and his crew in that. So again, kind of being framed for something that they're not doing. Moon Knight ends up fighting them all while the rest of the Midnight Mission are out on the streets, doing their thing. And we get a neat little turn around at the end that this drug dealer, he doesn't have superpowers, but he does have a reason that he is as powerful as he is. So kind of a twist there that's kind of neat. Issue 2 of New Champions. This is that series that's introducing all kinds of new young heroes to the Marvel Universe. This issue has several first appearances, full appearances in that, because some of these people were shown on covers in that earlier last summer. But the end of last issue, the magic person here, Hellrune, summoned a spell calling all her young hero friends to help her out, and it ends up calling like just almost all these young heroes. So we get an introduction of a bunch of new heroes and kind of like a formation of this new team and that. So kind of neat. I've been enjoying these young hero books lately. Like I've said in the past, I usually don't, but now I do seem to be enjoying them. So do check this out. It has a lot of potential. The big one from Marvel this week, running for a month or two, is the big event, One World Under Doom. Dr. Doom has the power of the Sorcerer Supreme, and he has for about half a year or so. And since then, he's been kind of hiding out back in Latveria. And everyone's wondering, well, what's going to happen in that. So Doom does make a move here. He convinces all the world leaders to let him rule the world. And, he's not doing it in a super aggressive way. He promises all the good stuff like healthcare and education and that. And it's working. So the heroes are trying to figure out what's his game plan. Obviously, it's something magical in that as well, too, having the Sorcerer Supreme powers. And every time they try and figure out what he's doing and think that they caught him, he ends up being 2 steps ahead of them in that. So they end up looking foolish. So Doom is going around looking like a hero. And, yeah, it looks like the world might be ruled by Doom. We have from Dynamite, we have Savage Tales #1. You got several stories in here featuring the ladies from the Dynamite universe. So you got Noe Vampira, Red Sonja, Deja Thoris. And that's what we have here. So we have one story here involving the people from the Mars universe. And then we have one as well with Vampira, which is kind of a fun one. So yeah, the Red Sonja one here is was originally reprinted in the Red Sonja Blood one, Red, Black, White, and Blood. So kind of a recent printing. So I don't know why they put that in there even, but here's a neat one here from Silver Lake from Top Cow. This is actually a graphic novel, and it is about a right before World War I and during World War I, and this fella, this American Indian fella, who is a werewolf, it seems, and he's fighting out in the the battlefields out in France and Europe and that during the war. So it shows how he's not accepted by white people or by Aboriginal people because they call him like a half-breed. And it turns out too he also has the powers of being a werewolf and that. So shows him trying to struggle to be before the war, what he's like living in town and that. And then it shows him and how being a monster and a blood killer and thirsty and that for all that is even too gruesome for some of the stuff going on in the war. I love the artist in here. It's Andrew Moody. He's a favorite of mine. I've talked to him and interviewed him quite a few times on the channel here, so do check it out. I always thought it was so great that you could have watercolors and look spooky and scary and gross and gruesome at the same time. So this one I kind of flew under the radar, I guess maybe because it is kind of a graphic novel, about 100 pages or so. But do check it out. It is called Silver Lake, and it is from Top Cow. Another one of these young hero books I've been enjoying lately from Marvel, we have Spider-Boy. This is the final issue of the series, not of the series, but of the storyline, that Dragon's Tooth Challenge, where him and Daredevil have entered a tournament to fight a bunch of other people, and the winner is the ruler of this Shadow Clan here. So that's been lots of fun. Seeing him fight and meet some other of these new younger heroes in that. There's a Spider-Girl, there's a Hulkette in that, so good stuff. Issue 2 of Lucky Devils from Image is out. This is from the creators of 8 Billion Genies, and it kind of has a similar theme. Whereas in the 8 Billion Genies, everybody had a genie and gets one wish. In this story is everybody has a devil, and they're constantly being influenced by these devils to do bad stuff in that. And the more that the devils get these people to do stuff, the higher they are in society and their jobs and that. So we see that the story is focused on two devils that are assigned to these two people that are pretty ordinary in that, and they've decided to kind of work the system and make these people become really, really evil and do bad stuff and kind of corrupt their souls in that. So lots of fun artwork in here, lots of fun stories. Do check that one out as well. Also for Image, we have part of the Ghost Machine universe. That's that Jeff Johns one that has the Rockefellers. This is that family of travelers, time travelers that are living back in our times, and they're being chased by this, seems like, Terminator woman, and we don't really know why yet. That story's still ongoing. So we see a regular, fun family doing, their best to blend into modern times, but also, of course, have to use their futuristic technology. So lots of fun, really enjoying that. Great artwork as well. Issue 2 of Dark Horse's Those Not Afraid. This is another book about serial killers. This is that one, we reviewed it last month, where there's two serial killers. They're both going for the record of the top serial killer, the top body person. They both have beaten it or about to beat it, and now they've decided to do a competition against each other. This woman on the cover here is a podcaster, crime podcaster. She's been reporting on their crimes, and now they've kind of singled her out, and they want her to kind of broadcast their achievements as they do it in that. So the two killers are kind of just going to town, doing their things as much as possible, and we see them interacting with each other in that now. And it turns out that the podcaster ends up almost dating one of them as well too. So we'll see what happens there. So lots of spooky fun. And finally, the last thing I read digitally this week was from Dark Horse Comics. This is issue 3 of that Welcome to Maynard. I've been talking about this book a lot when it comes out. I really like the artwork in here. It kind of gives me a Bruce Timm kind of feel. It's about a woman who is starting a new job at a hotel, but it's like a hotel for magic people. So it's kind of like Harry Potter, where average people can't see this hotel unless you're magical. And it's kind of like John Wick as well, that while you're at this hotel, nobody can fight or anything like that. So everyone is allowed to stay there, and you're allowed to be safe. She's there posing as a bellhop, but she's actually training to be the house detective there. And all this time that she's been there, there are magical items being stolen from the guests and that. And it's being done by this cat burglar, and we can see her up there too. And she has powers in that as well too. So all that's going on. So like I said, it kind of has like a Harry Potter meets John Wick type of feel. It's really fun. I like this a lot. Wasn't expecting to, so it's nice when you read something and you end up really enjoying it. All right, that's what I read digitally. We'll see you guys soon for what was read. Hey everyone, Not Daddy here. This is the raw review of the books. This is the best way to read comics. I don't mind reading stuff digitally when I have to review it for the channel, but I prefer to get my stuff raw. And this is the first week in many, many weeks, hopefully at your comic store as well. Well, the books all came in when they were supposed to. So. First one here is issue 17 of Transformers. Been a great run so far. Lots of action going on in here. Cybertron stuff going on on Earth. Lots of great artwork and lots of great action in as well. And at the end of this issue is the reveal of a new Transformer, Shredhead. So if you're into first appearances and collecting that, grab that. This is a fun one here from Icon Heroes. This is called Zujitsu Fighters, and it's about a society where they've genetically engineered these martial arts gladiators with animal DNA. So they have all this whole kind of federation of animal fighters with martial arts for their amusement, and they're kind of treated, like I said, gladiators and mistreated in that. So the animals start to get tired of this, the animal people I should say, and start to revolt. So I enjoyed that. That was a nice surprise, and I like that cool homage cover to the Secret Wars. The Hive from Image. This is a weird one. This is about a society that kind of follows like bees, like bee life. They act like bees, and a lot of their actions and stuff are very bee-like, so it's kind of weird. I'm not really too sure on it. And it's just about some people trying to survive in it, so it's kind of weird. Some people are trying to, I guess, use like their bee powers to do robberies and stuff. It's kind of weird. I don't really understand it a whole lot, so we'll give it another try. But like I said, kind of like a heist mafia type thing, but with like society that's kind of run on bees. It's kind of weird. Another bug one. We got Bug Wars here from Image. This one's been getting a lot of hype for a while now. Jason Aaron doing the story here. This is a little bit of a thicker one, has cardstock. So great artwork in here, has that great Peach Momoko cover there. This is basically like John Carter of Mars meets Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It's about this backyard that has obviously this mini life in the back of it. You have these, the ant kingdom always warring against these beetle riders. And it's very, very intense. It's bloody and, you know, this huge war always going on. And this is all going underneath people living there. And these people have history with this house. The father there was a bug scientist, and he was killed by a bunch of bugs there originally, and the family's moved back. And the older son who found them was traumatized by all this, and he hates bugs. And his younger sibling here, is obsessed and loves bugs. So they're there trying to live out their life, and it's not going very well for him. So as the older kid is flipping out one day trying to kill all the bugs and that, and this is his flashback trauma there. He goes in there, storms into his brother's room and starts to want to kill all his bugs and his pets and that. And he ends up running away down into his father's old lab, and ends up getting shrunken down to bug size, and now is part of this bug kingdom and that. So like I said, it does have that John Carter of Mars meets Honey, I Shrunk the Kids feel. Great action, great start. I love the artwork so far, so definitely going to be checking out further issues of that. So get one if you can. Bug Wars. We have a one-shot here from AWA Studios. It's called Cam Girl. And it is about a cam girl. It's about a cam girl who has a pretty successful online cam service, making money, doing naughty stuff in that. But she ends up getting stalked and followed by some creepy customers, of course. So ends up getting kind of scary. And she ends up wanting to go back to the old life that she had, but she can't because now she's in the middle of this kind of serial killer stalking thing. So great story. Like I said, just a one shot. Could definitely see this being a movie of some sorts. But again, a lot of graphic and adult material in here. So fun read. And the author apparently had something similar happen to her about it. So from Massive, we have Pinup Apocalypse. This one's really fun. Really like the artwork in here. Has that kind of sassy, pinup, sexy style artwork here. It's about a young woman on her birthday. This takes place in the 50s and the 60s. I'd say probably the 60s, early 60s. And it has that kind of Mad Men feel where women are, only allowed to, shop and do housework and be dumb, and men are powerful and make all decisions. And they kind of make satire and joke of it. And like I said, it's this woman's birthday, and she is very, very much enthralled by this red dress that she wants for her birthday, but she can't afford. But she goes to try it on anyways, and during that, a zombie outbreak happens, and now she's kind of stuck being the last girl type of thing in this sexy red dress on her birthday in 50s America. So lots of fun, great sexy type of book from Massive. Pinup Apocalypse. All right, from Oni Press we have Mine is a Lonesome Grave. This is a really fun read here. I like the artwork in here too. Very, very gritty and realistic. It's about a guy, a father, who shows up to a town that is very not wanted in after many years. He's left behind a daughter. Looks like he somehow was responsible for his wife's death. And now he's back passing through town. I guess he wants to give his daughter this money before he passes on through. Money that looks like was probably from past crimes and that. But at the same time too, this box that he's opening has a kind of protection spell on it. So we see that he does have some kind of magic spell casting abilities. As he's doing that, he gets picked up by town scum that are aware of his presence there. So he ends up going to the church where he knows he's not supposed to be, and ends up meeting up with his daughter, and she's an adult now, doesn't want to see him, but she still takes his money and leaves because she knows that's her way to get out of this dying town. And she leaves. And as the father is leaving, he realizes that he's been cursed somehow. And now he wants to figure out why he's been cursed and who's cursing him and what's going on there. So now we kind of have this wronged man fighting against these town bullies and that. Again, with this magical background in there, so really kind of neat. Still kind of vague on what's going on here because it is just kind of starting, but this has been an awesome book so far. Liking it. All right, everybody, that's what I read physically this week, which is the way comics are meant to be. Hopefully during these reviews you saw something you like and you can go out and buy a copy and support your LCS. Until then, like, support, share. We'll see you all next time.